Welcome to the presentation of Energiekontor. My name is Peter Alex and I'm the head of investor relations. Energiekontor is made up of three divisions. The first segment is the project development and sale of wind farms and solar parks. There we cover the entire value chain from the acquisition to the commissioning and sale, including repowering. Of the projects we develop and commission, we keep 50% and sell the other 50%. Of the ones we keep, we put them in our second segment, which is the power generation. There we have income from the sale of the electricity generated in those wind farms and solar parks. The third segment, by far the smallest, but still very, very important, is our business development, innovation and other. There we have the operational management, which is just keeping all the wind farms and solar parks very well maintained and controlling them. Also very important are the innovations and the efficiency gains we are able to generate all over the parks. Just one example, we have the rotor blade extension, patented version of extending the size of the rotor blades. And at the wind farms we did this, we are now able to generate 5% more electricity than before, just to give you one example of what we do there. Energiekontor is an international company. Our core markets are Germany and the UK. We were founded 31 years ago in Germany, in Bremerhaven, and have quite a few different offices at different locations all over Germany. But we were very early to also go into foreign countries, for example, UK and Portugal. Those two markets we have been around for almost 20 years and have been very successful there as well. Our newer markets are France and the United States. Our track record is very impressive. We have realized wind farms and solar parks in Germany, in the UK and Portugal. Altogether, 129 wind farms and 12 solar parks. Parks have a capacity more than 1 gigawatt. And just to give you an idea of how much electricity generated there, those 2.5 billion kilowatt hours per year are sufficient to cover the needs of more than 700,000 households. This is a city the size of Hamburg. Now, of the wind farms and solar parks we realized, we kept 36 wind farms and 1 solar park in our own portfolio. They make up our own portfolio of 330 megawatts. Everybody is talking about climate change. But at the same time, especially in Germany, the conditions for wind are quite difficult. You can see on this slide what we have experienced in the last couple of years. Especially the years 2018 and 2019 and 2020 were years where there are only 1 to 2 gigawatts of new capacity were installed. And this is by far not sufficient for the needs of Germany and to do something really about climate change. In the solar sector, it's a little different. There we have seen quite nice increased capacity installed, and probably we will see further increasing capacities in the future. This is a very nice development, much different from the wind sector. Our goal at Energiekontor is to help transfer the electricity consumption to 100% renewable energy. Obviously, as a niche player, we are not alone in this field, but we are at the forefront. And this means we are already able to realize projects without subsidies in all our target markets, even in Germany. In the medium term, we want to realize all our projects, wind and solar projects, at costs which are below them of conventional power plants. Already, at most markets, we are at such a stage. Now, let me tell you something about our growth model. It's very easy to understand. In the two segments, power generation and operational development, we generate excess cash. And this excess cash is more than sufficient to cover all the costs concerned with the project development. So this is a system which just lives out of itself. And from the project development, as already said, we keep 50% of all our projects and put them to our power generation. And by doing so, we increase the budget for project development by annually 15 to 20%. And this enables us to grow at least at the same percentage in the coming years. The other 50%, which we don't put into our own group portfolio, we sell. And from the proceeds, we pay our dividends, we pay taxes, and we put it into our reserves. Now, probably most companies say this, but for us, it's really true. I will explain in detail why this is the case. Now, we have realized that it's very, very important to keep in very direct contact with all our stakeholders, especially the people concerned if and when we build a wind farm or a solar project. It's very important that people know you, and our teams are there for the long term. We have many people working for us for more than 15, even 20, 25 years. And they were able to create very good contacts to the people which are concerned with the wind farm projects and the solar projects. And therefore, very good connections. And this relationship network is very important and probably one of the largest competitive advantages we have, because we know the people we're working with very well. Now, what are our central strategic thrusts? We have a vision of 100% renewable energy. We are in a pioneering role there. We want to realize projects without state funding. In most markets, we are already doing this. Even in Germany, we are now getting more and more projects developed which will be without state funding. And the next step will be to be cheaper in the electricity generation than the conventional power plants. In most cases, we are already up. We want to keep 50% of the realized projects and put it into our own group portfolio, making us stronger and enabling us to develop even more projects. We will strengthen our regional approach. We will open up a few more offices like we have done in the past. And we will expand in our foreign markets. Now, those are especially Great Britain with Scotland, with France, and the United States. We had a very successful first half 2021. We concluded PPAs for around 120 megawatts of existing wind farms, of which approximately 55 megawatts are from our own portfolio. We concluded another large PPA for a solar park with EnBW. This park will be starting construction in autumn 2021 and probably will be commissioned in the second quarter of 2022. We sold 2 Scottish wind farms with together 63 megawatts. We sold a solar park in Bavaria. We sold 2 different wind turbines in North Rhine-Westphalia. We commissioned and took over the Hanstedt-Riedel wind farm into our own portfolio, strengthen it. Now, we also participated successfully in the Bundesnetzagentur tenders for wind onshore in February and May 2021, and also with the solar park in March. And as of June 30th, 2021, we had already 14 projects under construction, and quite a few more, especially the large solar projects, follow now in the third and fourth quarter of 2021. And something we are very proud of, we expanded our project pipeline. Now, without the United States, to around 6,760 megawatts. Speaking of the project pipeline, about 12 months ago, there was a big revelation in the market. There was a takeover of a pipeline by RWE from a competitor. And for the first time, the market realized that a project pipeline is really worth a lot. So what we did is that we give a pretty good idea to our investors how our project pipeline looks like. We tell them, okay, we have projects in different stages. Some at the very latest stages are almost 100% certain that they will be realized. Others at the very beginning have probably a realization probability of something like 50%. But what is very important, we get ever more projects into our project pipeline. Just in the last half year, we expanded our pipeline by almost 700 megawatts. This is a huge number. Just to give you an idea, in the whole history of Energiekontor, we only realized projects of a little bit more than 1 gigawatt. And as you can see on the slide, right now we have a pipeline of 6,700. Now, to give you a better idea of this, what this means, it's project pipeline of Energiekontor, I have prepared this slide. And there you can see where we increased our pipeline. And you can see that we were quite successful in all different phases, especially in the later phases where we increased it quite substantially. This means there are quite a few very valuable projects. On the right side, you can see what we believe is the value added in the different phases. This is just a rough estimation, and you or our analysts might differ from that. But just to give you an idea of what is done there in this project development pipeline, because we believe that this is really where the largest value of Energiekontor lies. Let me give you some information about our share. As you probably know, our founders are still around. Not only do they own still more than 50% of the company, but they are also part of the supervisory board. As of today, we probably have a market capitalization of 800 to 850 million. Now, while the share price is at roughly 58 euros, our analysts believe that we should be worth much more. And therefore, it's our goal to be included in the SDAX in the near future. Right now, we probably have to increase our market capitalization by something like 20 to 25%, a goal which we believe we can reach in not a long time. Our analysts are quite optimistic about Energiekontor's future, and you can see at their target prices, they are well above the current level. I also give you an indication of what they think, for example, our project development pipeline is worth. You can see that just the project development is valued by them between 44 and 74 euros per share. Over the last 12 months, we had a very nice share price development. But I can tell you, this is not the end, just the beginning, because we will profit from everything which has to do with climate change and the need for investors to invest in those companies who help with it. You can see that we were very successful, not only in total numbers, but also compared to the RENIX or the general all-share price course index. Now let me introduce you to our medium-term economic objective. We target this for the financial figures of 2023. At that time, we want to have a sustainable group EBT of 55 to 60 million. Now, this should come from both project development and the power generation. The project development should be responsible for roughly 50% of this number, while the power generation and the operations management will be a little less than 50% of this number. And one thing is certain, this is not the end. This is just one milestone. In the following years, we believe that we can grow by another 15 to 20% every single year, because our project pipeline is very well filled. The conditions are getting better. Everybody knows that we have to do something about climate change. And Energiekontor should be your first address to investing into renewables. Thank you very much for your attention. And I invite you to contact me if you have questions about the future of Energiekontor and the prospects. We believe that we are a very, very attractive company, and you should take a closer look at it. Thanks.
Hi there, since you watched this company video until the end, I'm guessing you liked the video, and that's probably because we work very hard to create the most engaging and added value content for you. If you're a company and want to find out how we, at Seat 11A, can make a company video with and about you, please email us at content@seat11a.com.